Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Melissa coming to you not live from the beautiful country roads of West Virginia. And today we're in the garden. I'm going to be harvesting some things and maybe pulling out some things and trying to find places where I can pop in some fast maturing fall crops. I'm really wondering if I've kind of missed the mark on that one, but we're going to give it a go anyway and be hopeful. So I just thought I'd take you around and let you see what all I have that I need to harvest today. Okay, let's go. I can definitely plant something in these tires. I'm sure there's controversy about if it's safe to plant food in them, but I have, and we've not killed over dead yet. Maybe lettuce, spinach, I don't know, I haven't decided. Have beans over here. Still putting off a bunch of flowers. This corn, ugh, it's not looking good. Big beautiful marigold. I'm letting some of these purple potted pole beans get really big so that I can save the seeds from those. My daughter and I came out here the other day and picked a big old bowl of cherry tomatoes, but there's still more. They're still producing a little bit before I'll pull them out. Oh, you guys, look at my smooth driveway. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know if you can see that spider web, but it's pretty. I think I'm gonna probably go ahead and pull these tomato plants up. I mean, they are nasty looking. Have lots of peppers. Peppers, peppers, peppers. Peppers. Reed, what are you doing? What are you doing, pretty boy? Woo, Nelly, it's hot outside. It's like 80 some degrees and I got a sketchy light and super humid. So I harvested this stuff and I'm gonna take a little break, take my kids to get ice cream. I owe my son a reward because he did really good schoolwork this week and I'm using that as incentive, but I thought I would show you what I do with a lot of my basil and herbs when they start to get spent. I will pull the bottom leaves off and stick them in a jar of water, much like water propagating houseplants. Basically, you just make yourself a bouquet that you can use to cook. Some of the leaves, obviously, you're going to want to trim off. This particular basil, though, was a chef's blend, so some of the leaves are spotted. That's not necessarily a bad leaf. You can kind of tell which ones have been chewed up by bugs and all that good stuff, but for the most part, you just kind of put it in a vase, as much of it as you want. A lot of these you can wash off and put in the, there's a critter, you'll have that. Wash off and go ahead and dehydrate. And then I like to cut a few zinnias as well and stick them in there. This one is on its way out. I'll just go ahead and let it dry and save the seeds. So then you pop a few zinnias in there, and it smells nice. You can use it in your cooking, and it's pretty. Okay, so that's basically what I will do with a good bit of this basil and these zinnias, and I'll just leave them sit here in the kitchen, and I'll pop off some leaves as I want to use them. These, I will wash these off, pull the leaves off, put them in a dehydrator and dehydrate them. I bought a bunch of these little spice jars off Amazon. And after I dehydrate my herbs, I will crunch them up and put them in one of these jars. This is some basil I've already done. So that's what I'll do with the bulk of this. Now, I did take off a couple sunflower heads. I will let those dry out. And I have some of these cosmos. I am going to save the seeds to plant next year. So you can see which ones are dried. And basically I'll just go ahead and lay those out on a paper plate and pick those off and save the seeds. So I'll have seeds next year. I'll do the same with these zinnias. When they start to really die and look gross, I'll just cut them off the stem, pull the leaves off, let them dry, and the seeds are down in here, and I can show you that later. But I thought I would do that while I cool down. I have a lot of stuff in here, lots of peppers, lots of cherry tomatoes, more peppers, and I'll go out later when the humidity's not as high, because this time of the day there's just no breeze, no airflow, and that stinks. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so it's actually the next day. I didn't get back out here last night because, well, life happens. But I am going to go ahead and harvest these green beans, and I'll want to look around a little bit for spaces where we can pop in some fall crops and see if I need some soil amendments before I head into town. Okay. So this big patch here obviously looks like a good candidate, but even though this soil was pretty heavily amended before the summer planting season, it's still pretty compact. Kind of want to take a look here. So I don't know, if I do some work this might be okay. Now obviously over here in these beds, through here, this dirt is super loose, so I can absolutely pop things in there, root crops and such. And down in here, this dirt is really loose as well. And if I pull up this corn, because let's face it, it's just not doing that well, I would have all that area too. So, but I have some places that I can pop in some fall crops, and I am going to go ahead and pick all these beans. So as you can see, I definitely left a ton of these purple potted pole beans, and I will just let those get overripe, and then I will have plenty of seeds next year to plant, which is pretty awesome. And I'm making my way through these blue lake bush beans, and there's still a ton of blooms on there, so I'll still have a lot more beans to harvest until frost comes on. There's some I missed. See, there's a big one. I will let that one get even bigger and save the seeds. So now I have to work my way around this side, which means I have to leave the garden. I'm back inside and I got done picking everything that was out there. Much better day outside today than yesterday. Not humid and sticky and moist like yesterday at all. But I wanted to kind of show you that even though my garden looks beat up and dead, that I was still able to get a good bit of food from it. You know, that is my pickings. I have red hot cherry tomatoes, jalapenos, a peach and orange habanero, hot Hungarian wax, more cherry tomatoes, and the purple potted pole beans and Blue Lake pole beans. You cannot go wrong with the Blue Lake bean. They just produce so much. They're so prolific. They're still covered in flowers out there, and I also planted the bush variety and got a ton off of those. I just really feel like you can't go wrong with a Blue Lake. That is a good bit of food, I think, for a garden that looks half dead. So don't judge a book by its cover. You know, that thing looks pretty janky out there, but I was able to get some good looking stuff. I am still going to try to put out some fall crops, mainly just because I'm not ready to give up my garden yet. I'm not ready to quit piddling around out there. I just kind of want to see what will happen. What will happen with some things if they get a frost, if they get snowed on. And it'll be a fun experiment. It'll help me learn. Hopefully it'll help you guys learn something. So as always, I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, do something for yourself. Go to the gym, take a nap, do whatever. Get a good night's sleep. And hopefully in a couple of days, it will not feel as heavy. And I will see you all later.